What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be breaking down the new, insanely overpowered quirk that was just introduced in the MHA story. A game-changing quirk which belongs to the strongest woman in the world and the strongest American hero, Stars and Stripes. I will also discuss her epic fight against awakened Shigaraki, Shigaraki's insane internal battle, and yes, I will also discuss the moment Stars and Stripes pinned Shigaraki to the ground with her thighs. Let's do it! You guys know what to do. If you enjoy these videos, leave a quick like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. By the way, we've recently partnered with Itaikuji, an online retailer in Japan that makes anime merch that is normally exclusive to Japan, available to fans all over the world. They have a wide selection of awesome anime merch straight from Japan, including an entire section on MHA, which has some of the best MHA figurines I've ever seen, along with a bunch of other awesome stuff. Check them out, link in the description, and because we're partnered with them, you can now use the coupon code AnimeUproar500 for an instant discount. Every time you use the coupon code, you are not only getting awesome merch at a discounted rate, you are also directly supporting this channel, so check them out, link in the description. Finally, this video will of course contain Boku no Hero manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. The previous chapter ended with quote-unquote Shigaraki Tomura standing on top of a flying Nomu and confronting Stars and Stripes along with her fleet of stealth bombers in the skies over Japan. But which Shigaraki is this? Is it Shigaraki Tomura himself? Is it the older Shigaraki, also known as All for One? Or is it some combination of the two? This question will become increasingly important as the chapter continues. The title of the chapter is Me and Myself for this very reason, so I will come back to it later. The new chapter opens up with the stealth bomber pilots briefing Stars and Stripes on the current situation. They confirm that this is indeed Shigaraki, or at least Shigaraki's body, and they know that he can use electromagnetic pulse blasts, so the pilots engage their force fields and disengage autopilot. These guys all know that it's about to go down. And in the most American moment of the entire chapter, the pilot who is flying the plane that Stars and Stripes is standing on asks her for final confirmation about whether they will engage or retreat. And our girl America-chan gives the only answer that we could have expected her to give. She says, "There is only one option left. Smash! America! Yeah!" Oh, sorry, I got carried away there. Anyway, Freedom Waifu tells the jets to get information, and she promises the fighter pilots that if they fall in battle, she will return their dead bodies to their families. I mean, how considerate of you, America-chan. Seriously though, this is just a brief moment, a quick little exchange between Stars and Stripes and the pilots on her team. But this reveals an important difference between her and most other heroes that we've met so far. This comment isn't just about Stars and Stripes being a badass, although she absolutely is. She doesn't really have the mentality of a regular hero. She clearly has the mentality of a soldier. She fights as part of a military unit, she has her own fighter jet squadron, and they operate with strict military discipline and with a military code of honor. Returning the bodies of fallen comrades to their families is an important aspect of the military honor code. So with this quick little statement, Stars and Stripes reveals to us that she is not just a regular hero like the ones we've met in Japan. She is a hero soldier. In that sense, she's much more similar to, say, Captain America than to someone like Spider-Man or Iron Man, or even the heroes we know in MHA like Endeavor, Hawks, Genist, and so on. Captain America definitely seems to be the main inspiration for Stars and Stripes, well, along with All Might, of course. And some of the panels showing Stars and Stripes in this chapter are clearly drawn in the style of classic American comics, which is likely a deliberate tribute to the Western comics that Horikoshi loves and that influenced his own work. Horikoshi has made no secret of his love for many Western comics, and the character of Stars and Stripes seems to be a direct homage to them. As the Americans get information and prepare for battle, we see that All for One is having a bit of an internal monologue, or is it dialogue, with himself. We know that this is All for One talking because he is using the word boku instead of the word ore, which is what Shigaraki normally uses when referring to himself. All for One says that he knows for a fact that he is Shigaraki Tomura, and yet at the same time he also knows for a fact that he is All for One. It's almost as if he is no longer just All for One or just Shigaraki Tomura, but some strange, unnatural fusion of the two. Shigaraki, and I will just say Shigaraki because they're both technically Shigaraki, that's their surname, and also it's just easier that way. But yeah, Shigaraki then attacks with a combination of radio waves, push, and load up. A 3 Quirk combo. But America-chan and her squadron managed to evade the attack, although just barely. And that is when we get the reveal of Stars and Stripes' absolutely insane, overpowered quirk. The name of her quirk is New Order, and it allows her to give a specific rule or command to anything she touches, from people and inanimate objects to the air itself. She first uses it to essentially erase the atmosphere from a star-shaped space within a 100-meter radius of her own location. Since Shigaraki was located within that radius, he suddenly loses his ability to breathe and he begins to fall to the ground. We also learned that Stars and Stripes can impose 2 of these rules or commands at the same time, and the standard thing that she does is impose one of the rules on herself in order to give herself super strength and agility. In this state, she is extremely strong, though not as strong as All Might. Once she gives herself super strength, she uses the second rule to attack her opponent in some way. Now, first of all, whoa, this quirk is insane, and as soon as All For One sees it in action, he immediately knows that he wants it. And honestly, who can blame him? This quirk seems to be a combination of Nen from Hunter x Hunter and Trafalgar Law's Devil Fruit from One Piece. And if that quirk wasn't enough, we can't forget that Freedom Waifu also has a squadron of fighter jets on her team. As soon as Shigaraki gets distracted by having the very atmosphere ripped from the space that he was located in, the fighter jets shoot a bunch of powerful lasers right into Shigaraki. Initially, the pilots think that they took him out, but things are never that easy with Shigaraki. As awesome as Freedom Waifu's quirk appears to be, we can't forget that Shigaraki has a bunch of different quirks in his possession, and he uses reflection plus refraction in order to shoot the lasers right back at his attackers. Thankfully, Stars and Stripes is able to change the rules she is applying to herself to allow her to hold the lasers before they can damage her, and so she is able to stop Shigaraki's counterattack in its tracks. She then proceeds to leap at Shigaraki with an insane aerial maneuver that kinda looks like a flying Detroit smash. She is able to smash him in the face and knock him off his Nomu, and she then literally pins him to the ground with her thick thighs. And I'll be real with you guys, okay? Shigaraki doesn't look like he's complaining all that much in that moment, but moving on. Because that atmosphere rule that she had put in place earlier has already worn off, Stars and Stripes is now able to create another rule. But before we see what she is going to do, we get a quick glimpse at America-chan's backstory. Back when she was still a child, she and her family were traveling in a car when they were attacked by a villain. This exact scene was actually shown in a flashback to All Might's younger days during the first My Hero Academia movie, Two Heroes. So yeah, a random little girl that was shown for a very brief period in the Two Heroes movie grew up to be the world's strongest woman and America's strongest hero. How freaking cool is that? This incident happened in California, but as we know from the movie flashback, All Might was studying there at the time as a foreign exchange student. Stars and Stripes thought that she was going to die when the villain attacked them, but she was hoping that someone would at least save her sister. Thankfully, All Might did his thing and he managed to save the entire family by absolutely wrecking the villain. After that day, All Might became America-chan's spiritual master, and she was inspired to become a great hero just like him. She even styles her hair in a similar way to All Might as a tribute to her master, except instead of 2 long strands of hair that All Might keeps on top, she has 8 long strands. Now, I'm not sure what exactly she means by spiritual master. Is she saying that he actually trained her in some way, or is she saying that he just trained her in spirit because she decided to follow in his footsteps? Does All Might actually have a personal connection to her, or is she just a fangirl? I'm looking forward to finding out more about their relationship in the future, if there even was a relationship to speak of. As I said earlier, Stars and Stripes can only impose 2 rules at one time. She uses one of the rules to make herself super strong, and she had used the other one for the atmosphere around Shigaraki. But once the atmosphere rule had worn off, she touches Shigaraki and calls out his name, which allows her to place a new rule upon him. The rule she creates is that if he moves even an inch from this point forward, Shigaraki's heart will stop. Yo, did she just Death Note Shigaraki? Since he obviously can't remain still during this high-flying battle, Shigaraki should be done for. But remember when I said that who Shigaraki actually is in this moment is going to become important later? Well, as All For One cheerfully explains, ever since he woke up inside Shigaraki's body, he he knew that something was off. All For One had been expecting that he would completely take over Shigaraki's body within about 2 months, but Tomura Shigaraki has proven to be far more resilient than expected. His hate, the hate that has been growing inside of him ever since he was just a small child, is so great that it gives him incredible willpower, and so far, All For One has not been able to completely overcome that willpower. All For One believes that he is about 97 or 98% merged with Shigaraki's body, but he's not quite there yet. This means that the person whom Stars and Stripes is facing right now is not actually Tomura Shigaraki, and he is not All For One either. A new being is emerging from within Shigaraki, some sort of combination of Shigaraki and All For One. And so, because this is not quite the Tomura Shigaraki whose name Stars and Stripes had called out, his heart does not stop. Her quirk did not work. Shigaraki is continuing to struggle against All For One from the inside, and All For One is actually encouraging him to keep struggling and keep hating him. All For One believes that Shigaraki's immense hatred is the key to everything. His hatred will give birth to their glorious future. And of course, Shigaraki's hatred is the key to one day stealing One For All, because this hatred gives Shigaraki the kind of immense willpower required to take One For All by force. And as the incredible quirks of Shigaraki and Stars and Stripes continue to clash, this chapter comes to an end with the text on the final page promising that this epic fight, which basically just started, is already going to be ending in the very next chapter. Whoa, why so soon and how will it end? More than that, what will all of this mean for the story? The fact that All For One was willing to come here and fight Stars and Stripes before Shigaraki got to 100% says a lot about how worried he was about her joining the fight against him in Japan. All For One is risking everything here, and it's because he knows how dangerous Stars and Stripes could be for his plans. And now that we know what her quirk is, I'm not at all surprised that All For One decided to take this risk. But what did you guys think of Freedom Waifu's quirk? And can you imagine all the possible rules that she could create with that quirk? It just seems so overpowered and so versatile, and honestly, it is the perfect quirk for a long and multifaceted final showdown that the series is building towards. Whether it's gonna be used by her or by All For One after he steals it from her, it's gonna be quite a thing to watch. Oh, by the way, random thought, but what about Stars and Stripes' sister? She mentioned being especially worried about her sister back when the villain almost killed her family, and we know that quirks are in part hereditary, so could her sister also be a powerful hero with an overpowered quirk? Are we going to one day meet the sister as well? I really wasn't expecting that the random little girl from that scene in the movie would actually become an important character later, so I guess anything is possible. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more Boku no Hero content right here on the channel, just leave a quick like and comment. It only takes a second, but it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you watch our channel but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, make this the video that you subscribe, hit that bell, and then select the option that says all. If you don't do that, you're still gonna miss a ton of our videos, even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. Quick reminder to check out Itaikuji, link in the description. Every product that you order with our coupon code AnimeUproar500 directly supports this channel. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.